What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again with one of the most awesome, potentially Jeff Gordon diecast of all time. This is a 2004 Pepsi Billion alternate paint scheme. Now, with the NASCAR Chase for the Cup kind of returning, why not turn the clock back to 2004 and check out this beautiful diecast? You can see it comes with a card back. It's got a hood that comes with it. Beautiful silver paint job. I mean, my goodness, this diecast checks all the boxes. We'll be taking a closer look at the whole card back, but let me go ahead and get the studio prepped. And here we go, folks. Studio cleaned up. And check out this car. Huge shout out to the homie Cameron for sending in this car in a diecast haul. I greatly appreciate it. So huge shout out to you, bud, for giving me this diecast here. And it's actually a car I didn't have. I have what is it, like 3 or 4 other Jeff Gordon alternates from 2004. Never got this one, so that was freaking cool. So this was a part of a program that Pepsi had, I think in 2003 and 2004, maybe 2005, and it was a billion program. I don't remember all the details to it, but they ran a couple of NASCAR paint schemes for it. I want to say this ran at the Pepsi 400 in 2004. I could be tripping on that one. It would make sense because, Pepsi car, Jeff Gordon. I digress. So here's the packaging artwork for it. Very simple. You have the crowd in the background. You have a racetrack here. I'm not sure what track it is. Maybe it's Daytona. I don't know. You do have an interesting photo of Jeff Gordon here. Usually they have like a driver suit photo. This is definitely like a early season, like a Hendrick Motorsports team photo where they would have like everybody standing around, maybe a sponsor unveil or something. So kind of interesting there. You have this beautiful hood with the metallic paint that's on the car. Fun fact though, the hood of the diecast is technically a different one that's actually on the car. This is a 2002 Monte Carlo hood. You can easily tell by the corners here. Notice how it kind of comes down. It's more flat. This one on the 03 style Monte Carlo, it has like a wave cutout. So it's kind of interesting. They kept the same tooling from 2002. They would eventually update it, I think. But this 2004, probably something they still had, they haven't corrected. This was probably, if I had to guess, a early release. I mean, it's Jeff Gordon, but then again, I don't know. Maybe it was a late 2004 release. It doesn't say 2005 or 2003 on it. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and carefully open up the packaging. I'll be right back. And here we go, folks, with today's diecast out of the packaging. It has been pretty much sealed up for 22 years. Unfortunately, this is the diecast they made a whole bunch of. So if you're looking for a car like this, there is many of them out there to enjoy. And check out this paint scheme, man. The metallic silver on this car is absolutely perfect on this diecast. You have the blue, the bright yellow numbers. Wow. I mean, they made some amazing paint schemes back in the 2000s. Back when they used to actually paint the cars, they weren't, full vinyl wraps. These things were hand painted essentially, paint masked and all kinds of stuff inside the team paint shops. And this paint scheme is just absolutely incredible, man. Now, I don't think this paint scheme actually made its way to NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005, which was the 2004 season. I don't know if it did or not. I don't think it did. It's weird. Like some years they would have the Pepsi cars, and then some years they wouldn't. But my goodness, is this paint scheme amazing. Like, you could take this livery, guys, and you could put it on a next-gen car, move things around accordingly. And this thing would just, it would be amazing on, like, William Byron's car or something. So you got DuPont right there on the hood of the car. 2 DuPont logos to be precise. You got Pepsi Play for a Billion with the 1 million winner guaranteed logo. Got the Chevrolet bow tie there. I like how the bow tie is just the outlining there. You have the delete in the middle. Very, very sharp. Go to the front of the diecast here. Let's get a closer look at this Gen 4 Monte Carlo front end, man. Again, huge shout out to Cameron for sending this incredible diecast in. He sent it in with a multitude of diecasts. I hope to be able to get all those reviewed soon. But you got the 24 right there. You got Monte Carlo, and the silver on this thing is so shiny. It is incredible. I got Moog, Clavite, Comp, Edelbrock Wix filters, and you got Sunoco. You have the lower front valence, which has that very bright yellow, Dayglow-esque yellow. I want to say it is day glow. I could be tripping on that, but I want to say so. Notice the yellow outlining around the blue waves of the car, man. That is sharp, sharp stuff. Got Goodyear there. Go to the left side of the car. And it's so interesting. This is the first time I've reviewed one of these, NASCAR, Chase of the Cup era cars since the Chase actually returned in 2026. And it's almost, it's kind of surreal because the paint schemes in the era, it's always like, okay, well, that happened. Well, now it's technically happening all over again. Not the paint schemes, but, the championship format. So that is, it's very nostalgic and cool at the same time. It's like the perfect time, if you will, so to speak, to go back and check out a lot of those mid 2000s diecasts. You have the number 24 right there. Notice the 24 is a little bit skewed, and I have noticed this with some of the cars that have not been opened. The theory I have about them, because I had this on a Jeff Gordon COT, and I think maybe a Dale Jr. COT as well. I think what happens is the reason why these cars are unopened for so long is that whenever they were, originally on the store shelves in the card back, and then they would see that there would be a decal imperfection, if you will, and then they would put it back on the shelf, and they would, there might have been 3 of these, on the shelf. And it's kind of a fascinating thing because it's like it survived in that package the whole time because of a tiny little error back in the factory. But the car that had no defects to it was probably opened up a week it showed up at the store and was probably played with and chipped up and might have been thrown away. So it's kind of fascinating how the one that has a little bit of an error to it is it survives very well and very well preserved. I think that's such a fascinating way, but that's kind of how collecting goes. So you got Pepsi right there. Missed the old school Pepsi logo. Got the GMAC decal. Got Lay's. Check out the fuel door area. It almost looks like it's gold. There's so much yellow around it. The shimmer. That is fabulous. You got DuPont. Quaker State. You got the bone marrow program. You got the Jeff Gordon signature, which is like transparent gold. I mean, that looks amazing. It's hard to see because there's a glitter effect underneath it, but it's like yellow and it's somewhat transparent. That is sharp. Got the Nextel Cup Series logo there. NASCAR race car. Got the Bud Pole Award. Mechanics Award Autometer. Moog. Not Moog. Got Goodyear. Got Infograms. Infograms are still on NASCAR paint schemes in 2004. That's interesting. For those who don't know, that was the makers, or at least part of NASCAR Heat, those games back in the 2000s. MacTools, EA Sports, 3M, Waste Management, MB&A, Rebesto's Outback, Holly, USG. Got Goodyear, as already mentioned. Go to the tailgate of the diecast. Got that DuPont Automotive Finishes decal there. Very, very sharp stuff. Got the 24 on the right side. Quaker State on the left. The whole car is painted silver if you are curious. Go over to the right side of the diecast. Notice there is no defect here, but the interesting thing is that if the defect was on the right side of the car and not the left side of the car, this one would have probably been opened up in 2004, and who knows if it would still even exist. So it's kind of fascinating how, if the defect there on the side, it kind of enabled it for it to stay preserved in the packaging, which is fascinating. There's a little bit of a defect there, but again, I mean, it really don't bother me, man. These paint schemes are just, it's sharp. I can tell you what, if you put this car out in the sunlight and took some high resolution photos of it, this thing would pop. I mean, look at the sparkle of the metallic paint job. That is incredible. Got the 24 right there on the roof. Great condition on the plastic, by the way. For a car that was factory made, 22 years ago, the plastic has aged very, very nicely. And then over here on the deck lid, you have DuPont, the miracles of science. Here's the bottom look of the diecast, the year 2004 Monte Carlo. Very, very sharp stuff. And if this was ran at the Pepsi 400 in 2004, I could be tripping on that. If it was, then this paint scheme it was ran on obviously the plate body. So the nose of the car would have always looked different with the plate body because it was a lot more bulkier. So it would have been closer to a promo mold. So if that's the case, technically the die cast of it would be the only variant of this paint scheme that's on more of a traditional 1.5 mile short track style body. Here's the hood if you will, that comes with the diecast. Again, it's a year 2002 Monte Carlo shaped hood. Fantastic stuff. I remember these things. They're so cool, dude. I mean, literally, they would put them in almost every winter circle diecast. It's plastic, and it has a little a notch right here where they perfectly made it so you can glue a magnet or whatever you want, and you can just stick it on your wall, put it on a refrigerator, whatever you want, and it gives you some good decorations. Great for like stop motion tracks. I mean, think about it. You could put this in the background of like a diecast stop motion track for maybe like a 2004 era, event. And guess what? It's a billboard. You know what I'm saying? Like little creative things like that you could do. You got the signature there of the DuPont logos, and there's no date on it, by the way, but it is the 2002 shaped hood, I believe. So that is freaking awesome. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And for all your new diecast shopping needs, make sure to tap it over there at Circle of Diecast and use promo code Diecastbuffet. You don't have to. But if you want to help support the channel, you can. They do have some older diecasts over there once in a while. Like once in a while, you'll see some Winter Circle diecasts, Racing Champions diecast. The other week, I saw they had NASCAR Authentics 164 diecast. So you never know what they're going to have. Always check out their new arrivals. And sometimes on their Instagram page at Circle Diecast, they'll even post some of their more unusual additions to the site. So you can check those out. They got something very random. You never know. So thank you again for watching. Have a blessed one. This diecast is incredible. It would make a good contender for a throwback paint scheme. I mean, no cap. This would look fantastic. Could you imagine like the Exalta paint scheme? They could run this at like the Coke 600 or whatnot, the blue and the silver. I feel like this would look really good on an next-gen William Byron Camaro. I think that would look pretty cool. That's all for now. DB, signing off.